Hi Leo, welcome to your April 2019 relationship reading. I'm Raina. This reading is for people who are going through a rough patch, or maybe not just a patch, maybe a very long time in their relationship that's been difficult. And this is not meant to be a reading to predict the future, but merely to show you the connection, the synchronicity of life, and how you may look at your situation perhaps in a different way. That's like my main intention with with any of my readings, is to kind of give you food for thought about your situation from a different perspective. So, 3 major arcana cards, and I only picked 6 cards. You're not even having any eclipses anymore, but you're still, seems like you're still having a lot of change. You know, well, Uranus is now in Taurus, and that's a fixed sign, so it's going to affect all the fixed signs, and that includes Leo. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a sense of alignment. Now, looking at astrology and knowing that the Wheel of Fortune is connected to the planet Jupiter, and knowing that Jupiter is in Sagittarius, which is a fellow fire energy, and which trines Leo, and therefore is, you know, cooperating very nicely in terms of manifesting that expansion. You know, this is in your 5th house, which is even more auspicious for Leo because this is your house. So you have Jupiter in your own house, the house that you rule in the universal chart. So knowing all of that, and knowing that the 5th house represents not only creativity in children, but also falling in love. If you are in an unhappy marriage or the equivalent type of relationship, this is showing you that this can be a year until December, and depending on your particular personal charts, this could differ wildly of the timing, because you might be a late degree Leo, and then it, you know, is going to be different for you. This could be a situation where you have a lot of opportunities to meet new people that are a romantic possibility. So the point of me saying that to you is that don't ever think that what's happening right now is indicative of, you know, your future as well. You know, sometimes when you're like in that, I'll put this is the past position. Sometimes when you are full of anxiety and you can only see what's in front of you as your reality, you can't envision your future. And whatever is in front of you right now is actually the past. It's the decisions that you've made, the actions that you've taken. So even though it feels like it's your current reality, yeah, I mean, it is your current reality, but it's not something that has to remain that way, is what I'm trying to say. You make different choices, you take different actions, you get different results. So that's all that really has to be said about that. It's just that fixed signs tend to fixate on whatever is happening, you know, obsess about the matter at hand, and also tend to be very stubborn about their opinion of what is happening. So if you see something, you might think, okay, well, this is how it's always going to be. And you don't even think about possibly changing your way of doing things and seeing if maybe that alters what happens, improves your situation, what have you. So I don't know if I said this, but that Nine of Swords is the anxiety card. So it's about feeling a sense of anguish, maybe about your current situation. But here in the middle is that Wheel of Fortune. So it's showing you that, yeah, maybe there are some difficulties, but there's also some great stuff that could potentially happen to you this year. And the higher message is the Seven of Wands. And this is a card of standing your ground and defending yourself. And to me, because this is Wands energy, which is all the fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag, to me, it's also about, because it's the fire energy is about ego, but I mean that in a positive sense. Your sense of pride, for instance. A lot of people think pride is a bad thing these days. You know, pride comes before the fall, right? Well, there is a healthy pride, you know, when you have this sense of what you deserve, your dignity, your basic human dignity as an individual. And this card is like, you know, where is that? Have you been demonstrating it? I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, you teach people how to treat you. You know, how do we do that? By what we tolerate from other people. If we don't have that sense of what is okay, you know, for other people to do, there are people out there who are opportunists who will test and overstep their boundaries over and over again, because that's just how they are. They don't care. They just want what they want. So it's really asking you on the spiritual level, you know, what did you do to honor yourself? And maybe you didn't honor yourself. What crosses you is, I was going to say the Nine of Hermit. The Hermit card, which is number 9. And it's a major arcana card, of course. And as you can see, the Hermit is that light, and it's got the star inside. And that is the inner light, you know. And so this is one of the reasons why the Hermit is associated with solitude, because it's like sometimes you don't go seeking others' opinions. It's about self-inquiry, looking inside of yourself, what it is that you are about. Other people's opinions only reflect their own conditioning and their own path, and you have your path. And so sometimes you have to tune into your own higher self and things like that. Now, maybe you haven't been doing that. Maybe that's why this isn't a challenge position. And that has led to anxiety. That has led to not honoring yourself. And usually, if there's anxiety, well, I shouldn't say usually, probably, you know, it's pretty easy to say 100% of the time. If you're experiencing anxiety in your relationship, there's a good chance that it's an abusive relationship. It might not be like the worst case scenario, but it still is going to be something that is not healthy, not good. Now, yeah, I mean, there are some times that people have basically good relationships and they go through rough patches and things like that because of situational things. But if you feel like, you know, the Seven of Wands is feeling on the defensive. And this is a common ploy in people who are abusive because they're trying to keep you on your toes. But being on your toes means that you're like hyper vigilant. You're always waiting for the next attack. And I'm not talking about physical, obviously, because that goes without saying. That would be a very dangerous situation. I'm talking about verbally. Somebody who is very critical, who is very demanding, and, you can never do it good enough or what have you. So those types of situations, you're so busy trying to make the other person approve of you that you are forgetting that that person is supposed to be something to you in the relationship. It's not like a one-way street. So that would certainly cause anxiety. And if you have a lot of, if you have inner planets in Virgo, even if you're a Leo, if you have a moon in like Cancer or Virgo or Pisces, or if you have like Virgo, Venus, and or Mars, you may be like more prone or vulnerable to this, because you may have like more insecurity just in general. There are certain signs that tend to have more self-doubt and be more vulnerable to these kinds of people, or also wanting to please them. Even Libra, if you have like a moon in Libra. So watch out for that, because that can be, these kinds of people know, they can like really read people, I think, and they know like who's the one that's the easiest mark that they can get inside their head. What is coming in is represented by the Three of Cups. Now this could be an actual celebration that you attend, and this may be like a turning point where I think it's going to be more of a situation of turning to your friends. So if you have been in a kind of like, I guess I would call it an abusive relationship to some extent, and you've been avoiding your friends, maybe you've been so obsessed or immersed in this relationship that you have kind of cut them out of your life, neglected to nurture them, you may turn to them finally, because it's like you don't have anywhere else to go in a sense emotionally. And that could be the best thing that you ever do, because it reminds you of who you were before this relationship. And the outcome is the release, the Tower card. So this might be somewhere down the line. If you're actually married, this could be in the summertime, or I should say, for those people in Australia, the August period, mid-August, which happens to be your birthday month, a lot of you. But this is when there's going to be a full moon in Aquarius. I believe the exact date is August 15th at 22 degrees of Aquarius. And this will be in your 7th house of committed partnership. Maybe this is when you find out that for sure of what's really been going on. You could have a situation where somebody has been trying to, as I said, keep you on your toes, keep you dancing to please them, and you find out that they are the one who is doing the dirt, that they're cheating, that they have been misrepresenting themselves. This could be a wake-up call. And it could come as a surprise, but when you really think about it, you'll realize that it was there all along, that it was just a matter of time. It could simply be that you just break it off very quickly and cleanly with somebody, and you know, as a result of reconnecting with your friends, that you are able to have the guts to do it, and you don't look back. you know. And that would be a good thing, because if this person is like a narcissist, I mean, if they're very cunning in that way, they might be very charming when they know that they've lost you. So a clean break is really a good thing. And even if it comes from a shock of finding something out, be grateful for it, because it'll allow you to move on with your life. That's one of the reasons why I did not pick an additional card after the Tower. I do pick additional cards with certain, if I end on a certain note and I don't think that that is a good place to end, I do pick additional cards, but I'm not doing that with the Tower, because I think that it's a wonderful thing, actually, because it's showing that there's pressure building and that it's just a matter of time. Now, who knows how it's going to happen, but it's like a release from all of the tension. And, as I said, with that Nine of Swords, you may be feeling a lot of anguish, but you don't know how to get out of it. And this gives you that key. Okay, Leo, that's what I have for you. If you'd like something more personalized, where I look at your natal chart for love or career or both, please check me out online. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com, and the link is below. Take care. Bye.